Welcome to course EDAE 6050, that is the History and Philosophy of Adult Education. This is one of the core courses for the Masters in Adult and Continuing Education. The facilitating team for this course has 5 members. They are Jane Bennett, Sherma Joseph, Herbert Redway, and Richard Rogers as group facilitators, and myself, Sibertie Scott, as course coordinator. Our goal is to encourage you to not only consider the concepts and perspectives generated in the course, but also to consider the extent to which these are relevant to your practice as an adult educator. Additionally, we hope that the knowledge and skills we will be sharing with you will influence you to commit to becoming an advocate in the practice of adult education on behalf of all adult learners and your fellow adult educators. Our concern then is to enable you to contribute to the development of Caribbean society through the provision of authentic adult education. A more authentic Caribbean adult education will help to address the challenges such as fragmentation within the practice of adult education, which is one of the major difficulties faced by adult educators in the region. Fragmentation has resulted in repetition of programs, poor allocation of scarce resources, and programs which lack a clear developmental agenda. If we are to generate a more authentic Caribbean adult education, one aspect we need to attend to is engendering a better understanding of the nature of adult education. Only then can we hope to apply it to the Caribbean context. This suggests we need to review the foundations of adult education, which means interrogating its history and the beliefs we have about adult education, that is, the philosophy of adult education. Therefore, the first 2 modules of EDAE 6050 address the history of adult education, and the remaining 2 focus on the philosophy of adult education. In the first module, we will investigate the evolution of relevant concepts and the impact of socioeconomic and political imperatives on changes in concepts such as self-directed learning and lifelong learning. The purposes of adult education, according to differing views of development, are also taken into account. The history of adult education from the 18th century, internationally and regionally, is the subject of Module 2. The examination of the role of government and religious bodies and other non-governmental organizations in the pre-colonial and post-colonial eras in the Caribbean deepen our understanding of the practice of adult education today. The interrogation of systems of belief is the basis of philosophy. While views as to the nature of philosophy vary, they are built on examination of systems of beliefs that humans hold about the varied aspects of their existence. An examination of the nature of philosophy, therefore, is the first step in our attempt to immerse ourselves in philosophy of education for adult educators as we start the philosophy component of the course in Module 3. This is followed by discussion of the relationship between philosophy and education and what this may mean for the education of adults. Module 4 situates the conversation in the context of society by first examining the various viewpoints of philosophy of adult education and then seeking to encourage you to develop a model of your own philosophy of adult education. The component concludes with a consideration of the philosophy of education which guides adult education in the Caribbean and your role in the review and implementation of a philosophy of adult education which is relevant to the democratic, multicultural states of the Caribbean. Course content then is quite comprehensive, and you will encounter controversial and contentious issues. Therefore, we encourage you to keep an open mind and to be willing to consider new ideas. We hope that you will keep abreast of the course content and attempt the self-assessment exercises which are included in each session of each unit of course material. However, for the course to be meaningful, it is necessary to participate in online discussions with your assigned group facilitator and your colleagues. Discussions can be held via chat rooms, forums, and email. Discussions allow for the clarification of doubts about the concepts and perspectives addressed in the modules, expansion of appreciation of the practice of adult education, and some relief to feelings of isolation which are common among online course participants. Each module of ED-AE 6050 encompasses 3 units, each of which is released weekly. The course guide provides a listing of this schedule, course objectives, and assessment schedule. It is important to review the course guide carefully during this introductory week in preparation for the remainder of the course, as it provides not only the structure of the course, but also some pertinent information on time management and assessments. Once again, we welcome you and encourage you to join us on this journey of elucidating the nature of adult education. Do remember that your group facilitator is your guide on this journey and is available to support you even in times of difficulty when you slip or feel weary. Also, your colleagues will offer support and advice to you, and I'm sure you to them. So please keep the lines of communication open among yourself, colleagues, and your group facilitator. Best wishes for a positive and enlightening course experience.